Good morning, everyone, online around the world in New Mexico. So today we're going to conclude this kind of section on bodhicitta, and we'll do a little bit of recap, and then do another meditation on another meditation of bodhicitta. But before we do that, we just find our comfortable space, physical space, coming into this session, leaving behind whatever we were doing before, so it's not that distracting. I guess one way to do it is to think that you've come into these four walls, and those four walls, they just cut off all the previous activity. And there's sleeping, talking, walking, eating, thinking. I want to isolate our mind so that we can use it in a conducive manner, use the power of the mind to contemplate, to meditate, to um, develop our spiritual practice. And a helpful method to calm that mind and to open it and access it is to meditate on the breath. So we slowly bring the mind inside and begin to observe the breath as we draw it in through our nose and draw it down into our lungs, the expansion of the lungs, filling the entire body. And then the exhale, contracting the lungs, pushing the air up and out through the nostrils. We just observe this breath for about a minute, like the waves of the ocean coming and going. And with this calm mind, we bring to um, we bring up our motivation. So thinking about what do we want to achieve during our meditations? What do we want to achieve through our practice? And since we've been meditating for some weeks now on bodhicitta, we can think about the bodhicitta, this aspiration to free everyone from samsara, to liberate all the suffering minds, human, non-human, from samsara through liberation, through enlightenment. That's the motivation. Because what else is there? What else is more important than liberation? And so over the last few weeks, we've been training in bodhicitta in the seven instructions of cause and effect. And we broke it up into small pieces, but there's seven steps in the meditation. So the first step was kind of developing this even-mindedness, seeing how every being is the same. We're no different. We all suffer. We all wish not to suffer, and we all wish to be happy. So so we're all in the same boat. And then second part of this, we look to see how we can recognize that all beings at one time were our mother. So everyone has played the role of our mother in past lives. And upon seeing this, we can remember the kindness of the mother, because without the mother, we wouldn't be alive. So the mother in countless lives demonstrated kindness towards us. And then we contemplated, well, how can we repay the kindness of all these sentient beings that were showing us kindness as our mother in past lives? And then upon this, we contemplate the loving kindness. So this wish from our side and our mind that we wish everyone around us, all sentient beings, to be happy, to be free of suffering. to just be happy. This is the wish of loving kindness. And then we looked at compassion, the the wish that no sentient being suffers, that they don't experience pain, that they can be free of pain. And then upon this wish for everyone to um, be happy and to not suffer, we developed the superior intention. So this intention that by myself alone, without asking for help, I will free all sentient beings from suffering. And then upon this superior intention, developing the mind of bodhicitta. So the thought to become enlightened, because only in this state of enlightenment can I be of benefit and free all of those sentient beings from the sufferings of samsara. So that's the 7 point cause and effect. So today, what we'll look at is another way to approach it, which is to meditate on bodhicitta um, by exchanging self and others. So we can think that we've already been closely linked with every other sentient being. And the only difference being the time, some earlier, some later, but we're linked. And if we think deeply about it, every one of the beings has been extremely kind to us. In these circumstances, the attitude of being concerned only with one's own welfare and ignoring the welfare of other sentient beings, it's just incorrect. And it's incorrect not only in relation to other sentient beings, but as regards to oneself. Because this attitude that's concerned only with one's own benefit, this is the source of suffering that we experience. It's the source of all the suffering that we experience. And we know that, right? And we know that because of one thing. Um, we know that because we have endless problems. You could just ask yourself, is there a day that goes by where I don't have a problem? One day I have an illness, the next day the car doesn't start, next day I might drop a dish, breaks on the floor. It's just continuous problems. And all of these problems are due to cherishing oneself alone. And if we can realize this, we can see this problem or this incorrect view, then we should now change this attitude and think that since the self-cherishing is the cause of all sufferings, right? So you take that um, fault of the self-cherishing mind and we say, from now on, we shall cherish other sentient beings instead. So that's the premise. Is we tend to maintain this self-cherishing attitude because it is supposed to benefit us, right? But actually, it only brings problems. But the arhats, the bodhisattvas, the Buddhas, they enjoy this great, this unceasing happiness, and their attainment, it's due to cherishing other sentient beings. And it's not just cherishing other sentient beings, but cherishing other sentient beings instead of themselves. So for this reason as well, cherishing only oneself is completely wrong. It's not beneficial. So there are um, several arguments for this, but the main point is that um, we should compare our present situation with that of perfectly enlightened Buddhas, because of self-cherishing. We live in we live in this turbulent sea of suffering, while through developing the attitude of cherishing others, the enlightened beings have attained complete um, complete perfection. They have accomplished the benefits of both themselves and others. So that's an important point that all the other sentient beings includes me. So it's not leaving myself out. It's just not putting the focus on oneself and creating the self-cherishing mind. So recognizing this great difference between oneself and the Buddhas, we should try um, we should try to create this effect and transform the mind. So there becomes a transformation in the mind, in the thoughts. So when we're going on this actual practice of exchanging, first we need to generate this really, really, really strong, sincere wish to take upon ourselves all the suffering, all the difficulties of other sentient beings. So at the beginning, while that might be a bit difficult, we can just choose one person that we know that's suffering. It could be any form, mental, physical, big, small, doesn't matter, because we have to start somewhere. And then next, we need to um, generate this very strong, sincere wish to dedicate all we have, and that is um, our body, our speech, and our mind, to the service of others. So dedicating all our actions to the service of others. And there's the Shanti Deva verse that kind of captures this, saying something to the effect that since I've given up this body to all sentient beings to do as they will, at their pleasure, may they always kill it, abuse it, strike it, and so on. And so after we've dedicated all of our actions to the service of others, we should dedicate to the benefit of other sentient beings all the merits that we've accumulated through our practice, especially our practice of the Dharma, whether it's reciting mantras, meditating, prostrating, or in any other way. And if we try, we're all quite capable of training our mind and training our mind to develop this attitude. And this is one way that's accessible to us using our body, speech, and mind to help sentient beings. So many of us, we try to sit in meditation for some minutes each morning, right? And if at that time, instead of just thinking nothing, just spacing out, we try to develop the attitude of helping sentient beings and then to dedicate to their benefit all the merit accumulated through this mental effort, through our recitation of prayers, through the meditational posture of the body. So just by doing those three types of things, then we're beginning to do something wholesome. And we can meditate as we wish in the morning. If we practice mindfulness of breathing, this is good for calming the mind. But if we combine such meditation with the training in the virtuous attitude, it's much more powerful. And the effects, they can last all day long. Can you imagine? So if we combine our meditation with the practice of giving and taking, it's extremely beneficial and lasts much longer because our um, practice and intention is based in bodhicitta. And we're putting others before ourselves. And we're exchanging self with others. And we dedicate all the merits that we generated during this meditation that may I myself alone exchange myself for others to develop this mind of bodhicitta, to release all sentient beings from the suffering of samsara, to lead them to liberation, enlightenment, and dedicate to all of our teachers, living and past, that help us along the path to enlightenment. May they continuing their teachings, their love, their compassion for all of us until samsara is completely empty of sentient beings. Thank you, everyone.